Iran versus America. Is Trump striking again? Iran, the third largest oil reservoir on the planet, led by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, versus America, led by Trump, who is on a rampage against the dictators of the world. Is Iran's time up? Nearly a month ago, Trump shocked the world with the quick capture of dictator Maduro of Venezuela, showing the world the true might and power of the United States, and gaining the vast Venezuelan oil. But is America going to strike again? This time in Iran against Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Today, in this video, we'll be discussing why Trump would want to take out Khamenei and the pros and cons of it. First, why does Trump want to get rid of Khamenei? He wants to deal a huge blow to the Belt and Road Initiative that China is using to get oil from Iran and Saudi Arabia. China realizes that its major weakness in the case of a war with America is oil through the Strait of Malacca, which America can easily blockade, ultimately suffocating the Chinese economy. Therefore, China looks for an inland route towards Iran and Saudi Arabia to get oil and natural gas. Trump sees this and wants to shut down another possible source of oil, as they did with Venezuela. Protection against Iran is also another key part. Iran is anti-American and leads several terrorist groups in a known group called the Axis of Evil, with two of its members devastated and Iran left standing. America knows that without Khamenei, the regime falls apart, and the Americans can worry less about the possible threat of Iran building a nuclear missile, which would ring alarms in Washington. They also want to protect Israel, a known ally that is close to Iran and will definitely get nuked in the case of Iran gaining possession of a nuclear weapon, something that will shock the region and upend the balance of power. Finally, reputation. He needs to show that he's a capable leader. Khamenei is the perfect target that he can be used as a milking machine of propaganda, able to solidify Trump's hold in the US government for the next election. And then we get to the next part, which is diplomacy. The threats against Khamenei might turn their diplomatic tables towards the US, as they can now put more weight into the current discussion with Iran about its nuclear program. Trump wanted Iran to never build nuclear weapons, and in exchange, America would stop sanctioning the economy, allowing the Iranian currency, which is so inflated that it's worthless in Europe and America, to gain back some value. Khamenei, before these threats, kept the conversation going on. He was buying time, because if he had made a deal with the Americans, he was betraying the core values of the Iranian revolution he so defended, defeating the Americans and kicking them out of the Islamic lands. Now, we shall talk about the pros and cons that Trump will get if he succeeded or failed. If Trump succeeds politically, Trump dealt a huge blow to China and Russia, ensuring that the Middle East is now in American hands. Iran fractures as several regions break away and the state turns into a republic, following a more Western leaning. The Axis of Evil, held only by Iran, collapses, and the Houthis, a terrorist group in Yemen supported by Iran and was part of the Axis, retreats as the combined powers of Saudi Arabia and the Yemen overwhelm their defenses without Iran's support. Israel and America will feel much more secure, and the Middle East will stabilize without the Axis of Evil. The next part, economically. Trump gains the third largest oil reserve in the world, not only the first, also the third, ensuring that oil companies can get this oil and build America's economy even further. Saudi Arabia now faces an economic crisis as it has to compete with new competitor of oil in strength thanks to American backing, and will further push towards diversifying their economy. The next thing is internationally. Trump gets new support from his European allies, ensuring that their partnership, although shaky at times, is still strong against aggressors like Russia. But what happens? What happens if America fails? Trump will face heavy mockery from Russia, China, and Iran. Iran would solidify its regime and regain control using this victory, ensuring that America will never get a dominant position in the region ever again. European allies seek to console the US and show their support for their cause of liberating this world of dictators. The Chinese Belt and Road Initiative takes up speed as China realizes that it needs to finish it fast before America finds another way to prevent it. The Democrats are going to use this as propaganda, fighting Trump and undermining Trump's control of the government, creating civil unrest in the country. Many of the Islamic countries will denounce America as they see this as another unfair American encroachment on Islamic nations, uniting and badly damaging relations with the US. As of February 13th, Trump has shown more interest in the region, denouncing Khamenei and supporting the protests that are erupting in Iran due to the poverty and the poor situation. He is also currently sending a second aircraft carrier, the giant bosses of intimidation in the US arsenal, into the Persian Gulf. But Khamenei is no fool. He is racing against the Americans to shut down the Strait of Hormuz before the second aircraft carrier arrives, indicating that one shot will send the region into a new spiral of chaos never seen before since the Arab Spring of 2010. So what's actually going to happen? Alright, let's get real here. What's the most likely outcome here? Based on what's happening right now, there are 4 paths this could take, in my opinion. Scenario 1, the deal. Both sides will swallow their pride and hammer out a nuclear agreement. Iran dilutes its enriched uranium and America eases sanctions and everyone saves face. Possible? Yes. Likely? Both sides are still way too apart on missiles and proxies. Scenario 2, more strikes on Iran. Remember Operation Midnight Hammer from June 2025. Trump already bombed Fordow and Natanz with these massive bunker-busting bombs with 50,000 troops, and now a carrier strike group now parked in the Gulf. Another round of precision strikes is very much on the table, especially if Iran gets too close to a nuclear breakout. Scenario 3, the full-blown war. This is a nightmare scenario. Iran retaliates, Hezbollah fires on Israel, and the Strait of Hormuz closes. The oil prices explode. Both sides say they don't want this, but one miscalculation triggered it. Scenario 4, the standoff continues. The most likely outcome. This is a tense, no war, no peace situation that just keeps going on. Sanctions stay, Iran rebuilds underground, and talks drag on, and the world is holding its breath, waiting for someone to blink. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and press the notification bell to watch more of these short, simple videos about the complex political world today. Also, comment below on what you think of these 4 scenarios as the most likely and whether you find any other ideas on how the situation in Iran could turn out. I'm excited myself. Bye!